Hey guys, how you doing? This is Robert Roth with Homestead Network. This is episode 3, United We Fall. And kind of an interesting title, I know. We'll get into that just a little bit here. I wanted to cover some of the housekeeping here. Don't forget that we did set up this sign-up section. If you have signed up on the old form, if you could please go to the right-hand side of the page on homesteadnetwork.com and sign up for the new newsletter sign-up screen. That'll also give you 2 free MP3s as well. Don't forget, if you have any questions, you'd like to provide any comments, questions, or feedback to the show, please do that at support@homesteadnetwork.com. We did offer up a new business pack as well. You can find that up on the top of the site there, or go to homesteadnetwork.com/business pack. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into the content here. An interesting thing had happened to me over this weekend here, and I wanted to address that a little bit, and it was kind of something that I thought was so important that we'd kind of make an entire show out of it, and that was the idea that homesteaders kind of are having a very hard time uniting together. So which is why I called this show United We Fall. I had an issue where I was joining some new groups, and I had provided a link to a book up on the site here, and I got a lot of flack for it. And the long and short of the story is the moderator got mad at me for posting a link to a book that was not mine, even though I had provided another one that was open source, and providing a link to my own site on it. And I thought that was actually kind of strange. So I actually dug into the situation a tad bit more with the moderator, and she had affirmed with me that if indeed, yes, I had put a link to Amazon for the book, that would have been okay. And it seems to be the common consensus that I'm finding in the Homestead Network, and I've heard other podcast show owners and hosts and producers and this sort of thing, being in the niche for as long as I have, that there's a lot of division amongst the homesteading community, and obviously this is not a blanket statement. I do know that there are some people that are very helpful, and I do believe that there are some groups out there that do unite and that sort of thing. But what I'm talking about is, I think what I was thinking is what it really is it goes against kind of what we're trying to do. You know, the self-sufficient and sustainable idea really kind of is a little, I guess, on the selfish end. You know, we're preparing for ourselves, we're taking care of ourselves and this sort of thing. And I believe that sort of mindset actually ends up in kind of this disjointed disunity sort of idea. So I wanted to pitch that out there to you guys and see what you guys thought about that idea. Because like I said, I believe I've found that quite a bit, and I know I've definitely heard that from many podcast hosts out there in the industry. That you know that the niche is very how would it just not together. They're really just not together. I would say more than anything else is what I've heard. So you know I just wanted to throw that out to you guys, and my thought was is that, boy, you know, shouldn't we be the ones that are getting together? I'm actually going to be on this idea. It really spurred me to think when I was talking to my wife that, you know, we should really create a homestead association and really work towards uniting homesteaders together and understanding each other and getting information exchanged between each other and that sort of thing. That was the whole idea that we had with the self-sufficient and sustainable idea. But, you know, just kind of on that same line, we found that people were more than happy to take our free content. They were not very open with providing any sort of donations or that sort of thing. And they were also not they didn't come together with us. There was very little community interaction and that sort of thing as well. So I could say on my end, my experiences with fellow homesteaders is sort of kind of been the same way. Where I spent a year with Self-Sufficient and Sustainable and asked a lot of the community for input and that sort of thing, and got very little. And I did find some golden people out there. My Facebook group in particular was very, very great, and the people that listened to my show and chatted with me live and that sort of thing. There was a lot of really great people out there. But as I'm talking about, an entire community, I don't believe we really get together too much. Some things that came up throughout the week are some things I wanted to talk about here. I did release a video bulletin very shortly ago called DNA Wars, if you want to take a look at that on the site. I thought that was just really important with this whole idea of Monsanto patenting life. Don't we have the ability as well to sue Monsanto for infringing on our DNA and our RNA and altering our DNA and RNA? So take a look at that report. I think it's really, really important. Another one that's obviously on all of the groups right now is the cold snap that has happened right now. It's absolutely crazy how cold it's been. It was miserably cold last night, even in northern Texas here. And we actually had one of our hose Ys outside bust open. So a note to some people that really aren't used to it getting cold. You got to keep that water running, guys. We learned the hard way. As a matter of fact, we didn't learn, and we had the same issue happen last year. So just a little heads up for all you homesteaders out there. When it starts getting colder, it's going to get under 30 degrees or so. Make sure that you have the water running a little bit. It was a really big deal. With that being said, I wanted to also talk about tactics that we've particularly used in covering up our plants. When it comes down to when it gets cold and that sort of thing, we've always used tarps as a matter of fact, and I know that's kind of a hillbilly answer to the situation, but it has worked really well for us. I know that Nick, I believe it was on Save Our Skills, had a really great walkthrough on him doing some row covers with a PVC pipe, I believe it was. So if you want to take a look at that, that's Nick Ledoux at SaveOurSkills.com. But we've used tarps classically when it gets cold and that sort of thing. I highly recommend that. We've had very good success with that. We've used tents to cover our plants as well. So if you do have anything, probably especially down in the south here, that is going to be impacted by the cold, definitely make sure that you have those things covered before the chill happens. Another thing that I wanted to mention out too is thinking about your spring plants. As it's coming up here, especially down in the south here, we're thinking about it. Think about digging your dirt in, getting the weeds out, getting all the supplies that you need right now, getting your mulch, getting your seeds, getting your planters started if that's possible, if you have the technology for that in a greenhouse, that sort of thing. Make sure that you've decided on what varieties you want to be planting and that sort of thing as well. Make sure that you know fair well what the frost date is and when you can actually get things in the ground. But definitely in Texas right now, we're preparing our land. We have gotten our seeds and that sort of thing. So make sure you're thinking about that. Another thing that was coming up quite a bit on the groups this week was survival skills. And I thought we'd kind of go over that just a tad bit in the show here. For us, we've spent a fair amount of time on this situation. As much as being self-sufficient and sustainable, we have also spent a good time actually making sure that we're okay. So on the survival side of things, we've done a lot of preparation for that as well. So make sure that you guys have some sort of 2-day bag. That 2-day bag, you want that to be in an internal frame backpack. You want to have all your medical supplies on there. You want to have all 2 days worth of food stores, in whatever fashion you want that to be. I actually am a big fan of spirulina personally. You may want to take a look at that. You can get that at Puritan's Pride is where I usually get it, or Swanson's, those sort of things. Very shortly here, I'll get some affiliate links out for that if you want to support us in purchasing the products through our affiliate links for them. I've used Puritan's Pride forever, and they have some pretty amazing prices on spirulina. Another thing I'd personally recommend is Vitamist as well, and I'll put an affiliate link up on that very shortly too. I'm a firm believer in that product, and I wholeheartedly endorse that as well. But you know, your to-go packs should have clothing. It should have all your emergency gear. It should have a knife. It should have waterproof matches. It should have any sort of you know, food catching as well, snares and that sort of thing. You're also going to make sure that you have any of your information as well, which is a lot of times I think that's common missed in your go bag. Make sure you have maps. Make sure you have a topological map, especially. Make sure that you have skill books and that sort of thing. We bought a Kindle for that, which we can actually have 200 books on our Kindle. So I recommend doing that as well. It's very small, and it can fit in your bag really well. So you could load up some survivalist books, some skill books, these sort of things, field manuals up on your Kindle, and actually throw that into your go bag. But make sure that it's ready. Make sure it's ready to go. Make sure that everybody has their own bag, so that and the bag is sustainable. So so that, you know, if you guys get you know, away from each other, that sort of thing, everybody's going to be okay. Make sure that each bag has a radio that's tuned up into the frequency, and everybody knows how to use it, especially your little guys. So just some things about you know, that like that as well. Whistles, signaling devices, these sort of things. Take a look at Emergency Essentials. I'll put an affiliate link out for that as well. You know, please do what you guys can to support us. It is really important. You know, these shows do cost money. The hosting costs money, so you know, do what you can. It is important to give back to the people that are giving to you. It really is. I think it shows a lot to do that. So so anyhow, the last thing I wanted to go over is just to kind of go back to the idea of United We Fall, right? You know, we really need to get together. We really need to combine together. We really need to do what we can to unite this homesteading community as much as possible. And again, like this idea with the group this week is, you know, why are we not supporting our own people? Homesteader Supply, you know, support the people that are out there supporting you, homesteaders, people that need to be making money as well. You know, don't go out and spend money in a multi-billion-dollar, million-dollar company when there's homesteaders that have small businesses and are trying to make a buck. You know, support them. Support us, the podcasters, the website providers, the people that are giving you knowledge and information. Support us, because it's important. You know what I mean? It's the Walmart effect, right? Yeah, maybe a tad bit more to deal with us, or to deal with us as seed providers or that sort of thing. But it's important. It's a value thing. It's an ethics thing. It's one of those things that we really need to stand behind each other for. And I know, I believe me, I know I've been guilty of that as well. But you know, I'm really trying to do what we can with our family to try to return back and give back to the homesteaders that are out there and are doing their thing. There's a lot of changes on the site, guys. Take a look at the site. We've added on classified section on that. We've added on a news section. We've added on a community section that has links for all the other podcasts out there, or good, you know, people that I know at least. If you have any other suggestions on news feeds or podcasts that you'd like to see on there, definitely let me know. I'm a community sort of guy, and this is one of the things that kind of just really got me with this group thing. this week here is, what are we if we can't unite? What are we if we're fighting amongst each other? A house divided will never prevail, right? And we need to stand together. We need to fight together. We need to be together. So, with that being said, like I said, if you sign up for our email, if you have any questions, reach us at support@homesteadnetwork.com. And this is Rob Roth with Homestead Network. Have a great day, guys.